As we know by now, September is National Suicide Prevention Month. It's an important topic that we want to raise awareness for, so we decided to visit with our friend Tim Tate. He is a licensed professional counselor who has experience with this topic and is willing to share his insight. Thank you, Tim, for joining me today.
You're welcome. Thank you.
So first and foremost, let's talk about some common themes in people who struggle with suicidal thoughts. Are we able to break it down into a generalized sort of category of what these people are coping with?
Well, so what to look out for: people who have attempted previously, people who are having emotional issues, depression, anxiety, people who have medical issues, serious medical issues and don't know how to cope, people who have had a history and family, suicide, they've been exposed, they've been around it, they've seen it, people who have been incarcerated, people who have struggled with coming back or overcoming difficult situations are people to look out for.
Okay, and I mean, we know that many worldly things can take their toll on us psychologically, physically, emotionally. Now, if we had to sort of put it into, say, two categories, what would you say are a few things that put people into that mindset besides the experiences that they've been through? What's overcoming them psychologically that makes them consider these thoughts?
So I think it's an extreme one side or the other. It's either an extreme, people who feel too much stress and don't know how to, or are overwhelmed with too much to do. They don't think they can meet life's standards or others people's expectations, and so one extreme is the stress, and then of course the other extreme is the people who feel they have nothing, no purpose, nothing to offer. Why am I here? So it's either an extreme of too much or nothing to live for.
Okay, which I think that we can all relate to at times. We all feel overwhelmed, or we all feel empty and without purpose at some point in our lives. And this is a part of a natural process. In previous interviews, we've discussed that 1 to 10. How are you feeling? Do a mental evaluation. And you want to be somewhere in the middle, closer to the higher end when possible, but we can't have unrealistic expectations. What are some things that we want to look out for? Say you have a friend who seems like they may be overwhelmed, or someone who might have mentioned considering suicidal thoughts.
Well, so I want to have more of a discussion. I want to get more information. I want to get curious. I want to get more information, because the more information, the more questions I ask, the more I'm better going to be able to help this person. So I want to find out exactly as possible, how are they feeling, what's causing them to feel that way. And remember, it's usually it's how I'm thinking about a situation, or what I'm doing about a situation, or maybe what I'm not able to do about a situation. So it's not, I never want to think I need to figure it out. I want to ask more questions and let that person tell me what they need.
Okay, and say once we get to that point, we have an idea of what may be a burden to them. What are some things that we can do as somebody who cares about them, someone who wants to make a difference? How can we help them?
Well, it's absolutely coming up with some kind of plan. Have that person identify whatever that situation is, talk to that person about how they can do something different, and then check in with them to see how they're doing. But if I think someone is going to hurt themselves or has talked about hurting themselves, of course, that's going to be the people that I look out for, the people that have made the threats, who say that life isn't worth living, nobody cares about me. I want to ask them, if you've thought about hurting yourself or killing yourself, exactly have you thought about how you would do it? And however that person would do that or follow through with that, I somehow want to plan around that. So we call it safety plan. So if someone says that they had thought about maybe hanging themselves or using a gun, well, if there's rope or anything that they could use to perform that act, or if there are guns in the house, either way, I'm going to make sure those are removed. So I want to find out how they would do it, and then we need to plan around them not being able to do it that way.
If you are watching and you know somebody who struggles with these thoughts, perhaps you are the one who finds yourself really relating to this conversation, please know that there are people out there who are willing to help. Whether it's your friends or your family members, the ones that you think don't care, that probably do in most circumstances, or you need to reach out to a stranger, there's a hotline for you to call. Somebody that can help talk you through these emotions and help you find yourself in a better place. If you need help, please call 1-800-273-8255. That's a suicide prevention hotline. They're available 24/7 to talk to you and to help you work through these feelings, because you do matter, you do belong, and you do have purpose in this world.
And I also want to add, you can always dial 911. If you think there's an emergency, if you think someone is going to kill themselves, they've made that threat and you don't know what else to do, dial 911.
Yes, do something. Don't just sit by and watch it happen. You have to do something. And if it's you, save yourself.